right, rejoice everyone. We are back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate.
Yes.
Sekhie's got a little bit of a show and tell before we start here.
This is entirely Knickknack's fault. But, so this is the first one I got.
It's backwards. Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's the Lord Elmolay Nendroid, who I keep in his Skandar t-shirt and Tired Day outfit.
Of course, that wasn't big enough.
It was not big enough, so then I got the full-size Lord Elmolay, who stands very tall and therefore does not fit on the shelf he was supposed to fit on.
To complete the set.
But I also got Gray on accident. So what happened was they actually sent me Gray when I ordered Lord Elmolay, and then I had to reorder it. And I decided not to return it because it wasn't too expensive. These are the Ban Presto figures. And she's got the little lantern. It's so cute, and it moves, and she fits on my shelf. And then the most recent addition to the collection.
She really liked Ozymandias.
I mean, who doesn't? Also, his Nendroid is arriving tomorrow. Who will be posed exactly like this and set right beside him. This is your fault. This is your fault, Knickknack. The only other series I have this many figures of is One Piece. This is entirely your fault.
I feel like I've won.
So we have a new Sekhie Reacts today.
Yes, this week it'll be Fergus and Queen Medb.
Yeah, which I've done a fair bit of research on because I thought I was wrong about something, but then I was kind of right. The Tyne bow is confusing, which is where all of this is coming from. Like the stories of Cuchulainn.
That's right.
And the Ulster cycle.
Last time we brought up Cuchulainn, there was a little bit of a mix-up as to Cuchulainn being stepson or no, foster son of Fergus.
Yeah, so Fergus is one of his foster fathers, but Fergus was also exiled before he became an adult.
Get into today.
Yeah, so Cuchulainn did have some influence of Fergus in his life at a young age, but it wasn't like his entire, young adult life because he's a teenager when he goes with Connor to the blacksmith.
That said, at this point in time, that episode has not gone up yet, so commenter that commented last time about it, because I know someone did, we know.
Yeah. Look, we mess up sometimes. There's, across all the servants that Knickknack shows me, like, there is a lot of material for me to cover, especially historically when I'm basing stuff on, like, the Tyne bow and the Ulster cycle, which are not complete works.
And Fate's a fucker for detail, so even on the Fate end, I'm going to get things wrong here and there.
Yeah, because, like, we weren't supposed to do Skothic Scotty last episode, but we ended up doing Skothic Scotty because the lore was more conducive.
Yeah, I check on these things before we record them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess why don't we get started with Fergus?
So, I've not seen Fergus or Medb. I have not been spoiled for these, unlike Skahak and...
Oh, that's a caps lock.
Yeah, my computer does that. Unlike Skahak and Ku, I have not seen Fergus.
Take McCoon. Fergus McRoich. Meet Fergus McRoich.
Oh my god, he's a himbo.
He is absolutely a himbo.
Dude, he is the most himbo. That is
Look at that Brock face. Yes! And you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it later. This is actually Brock.
That is fucking Brock. Look at his eyes. That's just Brock.
He's a saber, by the way, not a berserker here.
Okay.
Here's his little extra art.
Oh my god. Dude, this is the cutest thing ever. He's just Brock with a bunch of brocklets. Can I call them brocklets?
Go ahead.
Okay, they're brocklets.
I like to call them broccolis.
This is the most himbo... I think this is the most himbo character art I've ever seen. He's just standing in front of crashing waves like...
Well, for the uninitiated and for Sekhie's corrective purposes... Fergus was a member of the Knights of the Red Branch and former King of Ulster before he was tricked out of his kingship, caused by a betrayal by Knocknarea. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong.
And that happens to be the Connor that we refer to as in the person who took Ku to visit the blacksmith.
Yeah.
So,
Upon being exiled, he ended up allying with Connacht. I know I'm mispronouncing these. And it's Queen Medb in spite of Knocknarea, or Connor. Their allyship was one of both mutual goal and sex.
Look, sex is just a thing that happens in Irish mythology. Everybody has sex with everybody.
However, finally on the battlefield when he was face to face with Mr. Cock,
you're going to hell for that.
he was prevented from killing him at the last moment.
Okay.
And during the second invasion of Ulster, Queen Medb chose not to invite him to join, partially due to motivations entirely shifting from revenge on Connor to getting revenge on Ku for the previous battle.
That makes sense, because, I mean, that is the thing, is that Medb saw, like, Ku's weakness, and that's what allowed him to be defeated in the end. We talked about it.
Yeah, and as Fergus was Ku's former foster father and had a fair amount of respect for Ku as a warrior.
Yes. Yeah, it said that even when they met on the battlefield, they were amicably enemies. Like, we have to fight because we're enemies, but we're not vitriolic or hateful enemies.
And for those reasons, their goals didn't necessarily fully align anymore. So Medb didn't bring him, and later Medb's husband, Ailill, had him assassinated.
Yeah.
That is the fate of a man who wanted a harem, but instead joined someone else's harem.
I mean, to be fair, okay. Look, that is the most Irish I have seen a servant look yet. I mean, he is shirtless with a sword.
So if you'll believe it, in my notes here, Fergus, in 2 words, is a himbo and a horn dog.
That sounds like every single one of the characters in this cycle ever. I love it.
A shonen protagonist if they had an actual libido.
What
He's
the fuck?
exceptionally friendly, and in the case of women, he can be just a bit too friendly, making advances on seemingly anything that moves.
Okay.
Although there are implications that he might be somewhat bi, as in Valentine scenes, he will hit on the player character, regardless of gender, and give them a key to his room.
That's very Gawain in the Green Knight of him. That actually, I'm not surprised by that. So that's actually something that shows up in Gawain and the Green Knight as well. The kind of like bisexuality of like kings. That happens a lot. Like, a surprising amount of men in history were definitely bi or pan, or just didn't care what they were sticking their dick into so long as it was a warm hole.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you'd call it bi or pan. Maybe it's just opportunistic.
Now, a fun little excerpt. I don't know if this is from mythology or from fate, but the excerpt is that it takes either 7 women to satisfy him, or one or the other, his wife or Medb.
Look, that sounds exactly like something that would actually be in the Time Bow. That might just be fate, but there is like an 80% possibility that is like actually something written down in the Time Bow or the Ulster cycle.
Now, this is Fergus as he appears in Fate Grand Order.
Okay.
He actually has a cameo role in one of the spin-off series, Fate Extra Last Encore, just for a few seconds.
That's in the hat.
Not a major part. Did I put it in the hat? I might have.
Yeah, Extra Last Encore's in the hat. I remember typing it in.
He also, and then, let me see if I could find it here.
Does he have an April Fool's?
He does. Let me...
I want to see his April Fool's.
Let's do his April Fool's first.
April Fool's is the best. Clicky, clicky.
Maybe I'll find it here as well. Here's April Fool's Fergus.
Oh my fucking god. He looks even more Brocky. How is that possible?
Alright.
Oh my fucking god, he looks so much more Brocky.
He also has this form in one of the one of the extra chapters of Fate. This is not a summonable servant version of him, but a modified version of the one you see here.
Oh yeah, that's really cute. I like that.
Sort of a Satanta version. It's him, same charisma, a lot of the same abilities, just not horny.
I was gonna say, I see that other version of him right there.
That's actually not a sprite. In the game, they just modified Alexander here.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
actually a fan sprite.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and click out of that and back to Fergus. That's the fun little footnote.
Wow, you're... Alright.
Alright, so...
Fergus McRoich.
I guess onto his abilities.
Yeah.
So...
Himbo hits!
So as far as abilities go, he's a great warrior, really strong, but he doesn't have many...
Is that just a better version of Diarmuid's Mind's Eye?
There's some weird stuff with Mind's Eye. I can explain that if you'd like.
Oh, okay.
Mind's Eye, it's one or the other. One of them is like a battle intuition that is born of experience, and the other one is a battle intuition that you naturally have.
Okay.
I forget.
That one's training and discipline.
Yeah, so true is discipline. The one that you just kind of have is false.
Okay.
I don't remember which one Diarmuid has.
Diarmuid has false. So we haven't... Diarmuid is in our next episode. We're going to be doing Diarmuid and Fionn McCumhale, but I already have Diarmuid, Lancer, and Saber in the campaign.
Yes.
Although I haven't really gotten to use them yet, so I haven't been spoiled on a whole ton of stuff. But we did just literally play a session where I did make use of Mind's Eye.
So yeah, like I was saying, this skill is like one of the ones, he is a warrior through the end. He doesn't really have much distinguishing from him as far as like crazy abilities go in his ability set, except he has this one, Nature of a Rebellious Spirit.
Oh, that's because he's the exile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, as far as my understanding goes, he's capable of negating some of the effects seen in servants that serve great, or some of the servants that serve as great leader roles.
Nice.
So this is due to both him losing his kingdom as well as being assassinated by the kingdom he then went and allied with. So he's obviously not good with kingdoms.
Yeah. Also, I see his noble phantasm, and I do know that that is indeed the name of Cuchulain's natural enemy weapon.
Yes, and that's actually
Caladbolg.
Yeah. So okay, so yeah, you did see it. So that is correct.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. I do know of Caladbolg. One thing is, there aren't very many big fancy magical weapons in Irish mythology, but the few there are big.
So, Caladbolg. And yes, it looks a little bit like a drill. That's intentional.
Yeah.
Let's see, do I have a... Oh, that's the... We'll see the animation.
Yeah.
So, Caladbolg, as far as Fate is concerned, because Fate likes to connect these things, it's considered in Fate lore to be a prototype of Excalibur in some ways. Namely in that it's a sword that can create giant fuck you beams of light.
Yeah, I also see that natural enemy due to the Geas about making it his duty to be defeated by the sword so long as it's wielded by someone who's Ulster-born. And Fergus is Ulster-born. He may be exiled, but he was Ulster-born.
Yep. And, let's see, so, and this is probably the case in mythology, but Fergus, or Caladbolg in Fate, was responsible for cutting off a hilltop when Fergus was enraged after he failed to kill Sea Dog VA.
What?
3 degrees of Kevin Bacon, I
Oh, God.
Connor.
Yeah, I know. Fucking
I
Connor.
mean, we all want to kill him.
Yeah.
But, so, it's extreme, it's actually really powerful here, to the point where, you even saw its power used as a benchmark in Setanta's NP.
Yeah, I remember that. And, I mean, obviously we're looking at the Wikia, so I can see the little note about Caladflick, and the prototype of Excalibur.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you have to think, right? Excalibur is, first of all, it's the second sword that Arthur ever had. And a lot of mythological swords, especially, like, when you look at... A lot of King Arthur mythos was codified much later on than the stories are said to take place. And these stories about people like Fionn and Diarmuid and Fergus are much older as far as we know. So that is entirely possible, especially when the names are similar. Because if the names are similar, then it's entirely feasible that in the passing down of these stories and the communication of them across cultures, the name just changed slightly to be attributed to a different character.
Yeah, this NP is considered really good at destroying land.
Man, now I want Fergus in my... Do we get Fergus in the campaign anytime soon? Sweet.
Part 1.
Nice.
So, that said, Caladbolg, although it's a great weapon, unfortunately Caladbolg is like Fergus, similar in nature to the village bicycle.
Kind of simple.
Everybody has a chance at it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Previously, we saw that Setanta used a sword that was considered rather similar to it.
Yes.
And beyond that, you'll notice in Fate that Emiya, as well as another character named Chloe, use it effectively as a warhead they shoot from their bow and blow it up.
Jesus.
And then Gilgamesh has it in his Gate of Babylon. And
Okay, but Gilgamesh has everything in his Gate of Babylon.
Well, he has the prototypes and everything.
Yeah.
That's the prototype.
Yeah.
And even Medb has stolen it before.
What's the... easy's probably a good word.
Yeah, Caladbolg is as commonly used as Fergus is.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, let's solo the NP. I actually am not too crazy familiar with this one's animation because I don't use Fergus a lot in game. Because I can't level every servant.
Look, you could try.
Now we have FGO NPs appearing.
Yeah. That's 1 through 3 stage.
Chapters.
This
one has chapters.
Yep. Oh my god. Himbo.
And that is Fergus.
Nice. I mean, you know what Fergus reminds me of? He's like the Rock, steady and around. He's like all around, and he's steady. I bet he's a reliable servant.
I don't know about in game, but yeah, he's considered pretty good as far pretty reliable.
Yeah,
pretty...
like he's not like amazing, but I bet he's reliable.
Yeah.
He's like a Toyota.
Yeah. All right, so on to the bitch.
Ah, yes, Queen Medb.
All right.
Well, okay, so we've been saying Queen Medb, right? But it's actually phonetically closer to Queen Maeve, because Medb is actually a prototype of the name Maeve.
All right. This is Queen Medb. Or Mabe.
I think you opened that wrong.
I did. Well, it opens randomly, it seems. I'll click this, because sometimes clicking into that thing does make it so that it pulls up the... There we go.
Yep, there we go. She's very...
Pink?
Furry? Okay. I was gonna say, she was very fuzzy in that last image. Okay, that's adorable. I love that. You know what she looks like? She looks like she just skinned the Yeti.
I mean...
she looks like she skinned the abominable snowman.
That would be a very Mabe thing to do.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. This... Look, okay. My commentary on this, right? I've sold someone wedding lingerie that looked exactly like that.
Being fair, though, there are servants that have far worse justification for dressing like this than Mabe.
No, that's true. This is actually fairly covering for a female servant. Like I said, it looks like classy wedding lingerie. Is that supposed to be a rapier?
No.
Or a whip?
That's one
crop.
of those...
Is it a crop?
It's a crop, yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought it might be. Kinky. Sorry, the crop made me think kinky, not this image, although this image is kind of kinky.
She does have some alternate outfits that I'll go ahead and show you here. Well, that's not a costume. That's
I don't hate that, but...
Here's her prison guard outfit. We'll get to that.
So it's just red-coated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just red-coated. Okay.
Right,
yeah, it's more obvious.
Let's move to here since it's available.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
So, Mabe is part of no man's harem. You are part of her harem. She is very promiscuous with no intent to hide it, sleeping with many men.
Yeah.
As Queen of Connacht, she conspired with Fergus to conquer Ulster. And because a curse was on the lands, so that all born of Ulster were feeble to invasion, only Ku could really fight her.
Yeah.
In her army.
That's very famous in the Ulster cycle, that quite literally no man except for Ku was physically able to get up and fight her armies. Point blank.
That said, for being one man that can fight her armies, he fought her armies and he swept them.
Yeah.
And eventually, we brought up in the Ku episode, they had a deal for a one-on-one that she eventually secretly broke.
Yeah, by feeding him the flesh of dogs.
Not quite. There's a little bit in there in the between.
No, but yeah.
That's ultimately where things ended.
Yeah. She takes advantage of him in a weakened state.
Eventually, she was defeated in the first invasion and captured, but later returned to Connacht.
Yeah, because they were trying to steal the Bull of Brown.
Yeah.
The Brown Bull of Ulster.
In Fate, at least, during the time period between the two invasions.
The cattle raids of Cooley. That's what they're called. The specific part of the Ulster cycle is the cattle raids of Cooley.
So at least in Fate, I don't know if this is the same in any given telling of the Ulster cycle, or even if it's derived from like one specific telling. In the time period between the two invasions, she did try to get Ku to join her harem, and he rightly told her to go fuck herself.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think in some versions she sends Ferdiad to him because Ferdiad works for her, and they were battle brothers when training on the Isle of Shadow with Skahak and Ife. And Ferdiad asks him to work for her. But he kind of can't do that. I mean, he is the Hound of Ulster. It is Ulster that makes him strong. Like, this is the land of his fathers.
Now, being the petty bitch she is, she decided to invade Ulster again, only for revenge. Yep. And this time, due to events that technically qualify as cannibalism, her army managed to strike him down.
Yep, the rule was that by eating the flesh of dogs 3 times, Ku would become weak.
I made a mistake. I said strike him down. I meant strike him up.
Yes, strike him up. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, and even so, I mean, she didn't give a shit about his honor, but the rest of her armies did. They were very wowed by his...
So there are some, like...
Is this the cheese lady?
Yes.
Okay.
There are some, I don't want to, like, what is it called? Anecdotes that she might be immortal. But unlike Sekhie, that is never outright stated, so she's probably actually dead.
Yeah.
Medb is a rider servant.
Mm-hmm.
She has a way of explaining this.
Yeah.
And then there's the actual way of explaining this.
Well, also, fun fact, before she married her current husband, Ailila Macmata, she was originally married to Conchopar Macnessa.
Yep.
So she was Queen of Ulster.
That's going to be important. Remember that.
Okay, all right. Never mind.
Her justification for being a rider is that she's very adept at riding men.
It's a form of riding. There's a reason why we have the cowgirl position, ladies and gentlemen.
That said, there is an explanation for that makes a little bit more sense than that, kind of.
What would that be?
We'll get there.
Okay.
And then the other explanation is that she also primarily rides a chariot as well.
Okay.
After her initial introduction into FGO, she's kind of a recurring villainess in some of the more lighthearted events. During one summer, she ran a prison where all who entered were trained to be good little servants to men.
That sounds perfect.
And in an alternate universe where she became a magical girl, very little is known about that, though, and she does not have a unique design for that, so there is no showcasing that this time.
That fucking hurts.
That version, though, was a saber.
Magical girl. What the shit? Wait, is this her saber form?
It just looks like this.
Oh, okay. So same look so far.
Yeah. She did, at one point in the story, create her own coup that didn't reject her and chose to serve as her guard dog, a tyrant, and a fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
A truly good use for a holy grail, if you ask me.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, you have to sympathize.
No, I get it. That makes sense.
And then I guess the last little footnote I want to give here is she currently has a budding friendship with Sekhie Scotty, whom she notes as infinitely less stuck up than normal Sekhie.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Also, are we gonna get to a point about her children?
Not here, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Not off the top of my head.
Then I want to bring up this point, right? That I knew I wanted to bring up, right? So, Medb originally had 7 sons, right? All called Main. However, their names were not originally Main. She asked a druid which one of her sons would kill Conchobar. And the druid replied Main. So she just renamed all 7 of her sons to Main, and then their original first name became their second name, in the hopes that any one of them would kill Conchobar and fulfill the prophecy.
So who ended up killing Conchobar?
It was...
The correct answer here is Main, Sekhie.
Yeah, it was Main Andoe the Swift, her 3rd son, also known as Sismain Andoe or Kishmuin.
I mean...
and...
Isn't the obvious solution here to just name the oldest one Main?
She did, and then all the rest of them, because it was one of her sons prophesied to kill Conchobar.
But she knew that one would be named Main.
No, because none of them were named Main. This happened after all of them were born. So all 7 of them were born and had their own names.
So she just renamed them all Main.
She renamed all of them to first name Main. Also...
Why do I feel like this isn't even some matter of holy prophecy as much as just...
Yeah.
Who was it that told her? Was it a druid?
A druid.
Was just fucking with her?
Yeah, also, fun fact, she had a daughter, one, named Findabar, who is actually, the name inspiration for the elven character in Witcher.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, so her abilities. Let's go ahead and close out of this beautiful image.
Yeah. I mean, I could see her skinning a yeti for clothing. That sounds about right.
So, Medb has interesting abilities. It's not even noted in the skills here, I don't think. But she can actually, from a drop of her blood, right? She can create her entire army from just a drop of her blood.
Okay.
And she possesses such a perfect body that it cannot be ruined by anything. No carb can conquer it.
So that is actively true to mythology, because she's called the beautiful wolf queen, and it's said that she's so beautiful that normal men and warriors immediately lose 2/3 of their strength and mental facilities when facing her in the face of her sheer beauty.
Here's the last note. She has a natural charm against weak-willed men.
I mean, that makes sense.
And here's the part where, here's a fun part. Any man who she once had relations with
is weak.
and who is a heroic spirit will grant her their noble phantasm to summon and use in the rider form. There's where the rider comes from riding men. Riding men to power.
Oh, I've never wanted a character more.
This is what she actually means by riding
Question.
men, but she's fucking with you because she knows your first thought.
Question.
Yes.
Does this have to be characters that she canonically fucks,
Yes.
or can I make her fuck a
No,
different...
it's just her canonical fucks.
Damn!
That said, this also means that although I have a list of noble phantasms here, it is ever expanding because all it takes is fate to say, oh yeah, she fucked this person in life, and she has this to just add a new one.
That's amazing!
As of now, she possesses a whopping 4 confirmed noble phantasms.
Which ones?
So the first one is called Chariot My Love.
Okay. Who was it? Oh, is this hers?
This is one of hers.
Okay, so this is hers, not
This has
someone she...
This has 2 effects.
Okay.
The first one is that the bulls on her chariot are just, they're bulls pulling a chariot and running. They're going to mow down many people. Mm-hmm. The second, of course, is that Medb can actually trap men inside and refuse to let them out until, in the most vague of terms, Medb is done with them.
Oh my fucking god. She has her own moving love palace.
In the game, this deals extra damage to men and makes them all more susceptible to mental attacks. I will do as the game does and leave the exact details of what goes on in there to your imagination in possible horror.
What the fuck? I can't even. That's some bullshit.
The next one is called My Red Mead.
Okay.
This one is only referenced in some story, but it's... So, the My Red Mead is liquor infused with honey and Medb's blood.
Okay.
If she presents it to a man and asks very nicely, it is nearly impossible for them to not drink, and they will then find themselves absolutely loyal to her. Mm-hmm. It's truly a broken noble phantasm, except for one teensy-weensy problem.
What?
Servants can't truly bleed.
Oh,
So she is completely unable to make it in its correct form, and it may as well just be really good damn alcohol.
Okay.
Because all it does is just make servants
a
little bit less smart in their interactions with her.
All right.
Here we go. This is the one I was telling you to hold on for. Knocknarea, Connor My Love. Using this ability, because of her rider's ability, Medb steals the ability of the King of Ulster to see the future.
Oh shit!
This was only possible because he was a husband of her briefly.
Damn, that's pretty fucking cool.
And then the last one, as I promised during the Fergus section, Fergus My Love. Here she steals Fergus's NP on account of them being lovers and uses it as effectively as if it were her own.
Yeah, that's... fuck.
Alright. We knew this was coming.
Yay! Swimsuit version!
Swimsuits.
Ooh, I kind of like how her weapon evolves. Is this because she's a saber in this version?
I believe she is.
Because she has a sword, not a whip thing.
Also,
I don't like that she's riding a penguin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she is a saber, actually. I forgot to note that down, apparently.
I'd bet she's a saber, though. That looks like a sword.
It's been a while. I'm fairly certain she's a saber, but let me quickly confirm. Yes, she's a saber.
Okay. She looks cute. This is acceptable. It's weirdly warm weather meets cold.
So, this form allows all of Medb's charming abilities to be increased to a mass scale, a destructive scale, if you will, as she's now in a swimsuit.
Okay.
It is truly destructive, influencing not insignificant amount of people.
Okay.
She's in the chapter where she's introduced, or in the event she was introduced, she's effectively able to wrap every surfer dude in Hawaii around her fingertips in one instance.
Okay, nice. She gets all the himbos under her control.
Yes.
She's a himbo tamer. I love it. I feel bad. I apologize for everyone watching this. The reason why the video frame is shaking is because I keep tapping my knee because my ADHD has me doing it, but it shakes the table ever so slightly.
It's called shaky cam.
I'm trying to not. I promise.
So all of her abilities here are largely just her regular abilities turned up to 10 because, I mean, come on. If you have charming abilities you throw in a swimsuit, it's going to be even more charming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thus is the logic of anime. She has 2 NPs.
Yeah.
One Shot My Love, which is when she approaches the target, says hello there, and results in them becoming her plaything to drag around until they are tragically exhausted. Of course, photos will be taken in the process for memories. I will show you that one later. That is one I cannot spoil
Yeah.
at all by clicking into it.
And Fergus, my good-looking brave, which I can kind of guess has to do with Fergus.
So, again, she gets Cowardbolg.
Okay.
Here, though, it's unknown if this is actually her retaining her normal rider abilities, or if she just found Fergus, asked really nicely, and he gave her Cowardbolg. Because in this case, she's unable to use Cowardbolg to its full ability. Instead, it's more like she can use it for its glowy effects, and she uses it as mood lighting and as a prop for any visual bullshit she wants to use while increasing her charming abilities.
That's some bullshit.
All right.
I kind of love it, though.
NPs.
Before we get to her NPs, I would like to make the comment. We mentioned that she may be immortal, right? But she does actually have a gravesite in Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, she has the Innis Cloithrain, or I definitely said that wrong, but I can't pronounce that many vowels. But, so fun fact, according to legend, right, she's buried in a 40-foot tall stone cairn, upright, facing Ulster, forevermore.
Oh yeah, I guess I did forget to mention the fact you brought up earlier. Due to, I believe, an anecdote, she died from getting hit by in the head by cheese too hard. If she gets hit by cheese, even as a servant, she will instantly die. That said, she does have one unlisted ability that she's trained over the years. She has a reflex to instantly block the cheese.
Yeah, so that's actually based on a story, right? That this character in the story is called Furbide, sought revenge for the death of his mother. And so he measured the distance between a pool that she bathed in on a famous island, and then he practiced with his sling until he could hit an apple on top of a stake at Medb's exact height from a far distance. And then when he saw her bathing, he killed her with a piece of cheese. And then she was then succeeded by her son, Mine Athramale, which was not the mine that killed Concobar. Different mine.
Just what a fucking way to go out. In my opinion.
Cheese.
All right.
Oh my god, our feed is fucked. Keep seeing
Yes.
NPs. Okay.
Story chapter.
Yep. Question is, can we skip ahead and still... Yeah, okay.
Oh, this is her summer one.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know?
No, I thought I clicked the normal.
No, this is the summer... She was in her swimsuit. How did you... Oh my god. She just killed someone with a photo shoot?
She exhausted them over the course of the day, taking photos, and then that is how that is shown in FGO.
That is so weird.
All right, let me show you the bullshit that is this.
Oh man.
This one does not have chapters. This is a bit of an older one.
Yeah, it's an older video. Wait, there. Okay. Oi! Oi! Oi!
You need an adult?
I feel violated. I feel like I have been violated. I feel unclean, impure. Oh.
So, I want to take this moment real quickly before we move on, because there is one more version of Medb that I'd like to touch on. This will include spoilers for FGO Part 2, though, Cosmos and the Lost Belt, including parts that have not yet been released in English.
Oh, so there's another version of her?
Yes. Kind of similar to Scotty in that it's an alternate timeline thing.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it here. I saw this before in the wiki. Here we go. Oh yeah, there's the magical girl. Connacht Star Medb.
Oh god.
Knocknarea.
Okay, so that's the name of the island that she takes her bath on. Knocknarea.
This is the name of this form.
Ooh.
So let me explain this a little bit.
Hold on. First, Mommy, excuse me. Mommy, I'm sorry. Mommy, I'm sorry. Mommy, please step on me. This is like Nobu.
This is not a summonable version, by the way. So
Damn!
not yet. This might eventually be a costume, but we don't know.
I hope it is.
So you remember how in the last time we recorded I talked about how Skahawk and Scotty were from an alternate timeline? Yeah. It's a similar situation here. Okay. This is an alternate timeline version of Medb with a doomed future.
Oh, this is that Avalon LaFay roundtable thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So in this case, this is from a universe where the fairies rule, and humans are basically an endangered species treated worthless.
Okay.
this is not directly stated to be Medb, but heavily, like, implied and almost outright stated to be just a Medb from a different timeline that went through very different experiences. So, resulting in her being a lot less interested in sex.
Okay. So she's not a man rider?
No.
Sorry, I had to ask.
Might be that they're the same person. It also might just be that they're very similar in nature, because both Medb and Knocknarea are considered very similar in nature to Queen Mab of the Fairies.
Okay.
They're not the exact same. Queen Mab is her own character.
Yeah.
But they're so similar in nature that in this timeline, Queen Mab is considered more of a title after the original Queen Mab. I don't know if it dies or goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm. And Mab is obviously, according to Shakespeare and a lot of mythology, one of the Fae Queens.
Yeah. So this version of Medb, Knocknarea, is considered next in line to become the next Queen Mab.
Nice. Does it specify which court?
Or
does it even make a delineation?
Well,
down
she
the
has an
courts?
army of fairies, giants, and picts.
That's
I don't know if that's helpful.
No, I was just thinking like Winter Court, Summer Court, or Unseelie and Seelie.
It's possible they specify that, but unfortunately, as this isn't translated to English, a lot of those details aren't there yet, and I haven't read it to know myself.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't expecting you to know, to be honest.
Now, she is actually a good friend to, do you remember Castor Artoria?
Yes, I do remember
They're
Castor
from the same
Artoria.
timeline, and they are friends.
Oh.
So, there is that.
Interesting. Okay.
So, that would be Medb and Fergus. What do you think of the two?
I love Fergus. Himbo Brock, great. 10 out of 10.
He is just Brock.
Yeah, he is Himbo Brock. I love it. I want him. And I want Medb more. I hate Medb, but I love Medb. And I want Knocknarea, even though she's not summonable. Maybe eventually. If she becomes summonable, I want Knocknarea. Like 10 out of 10. Yeah. The lady who skinned the Yeti. That's just what I'm going to refer to her
That is what she looks like.
She skinned a fucking Yeti. Like, she hunted down the abominable snowman and skinned it and is wearing it now.
I skimmed over it, but there actually should be an April Fool's Summer Medb as well.
Ooh.
Let's just, as one last note here before we go.
Oh, that's adorable. The April Fools are kind of hit or miss for me. Like, sometimes I really like them, and sometimes I don't. But
Sometimes
I do
they
actually
just look
like
stupid as all hell.
Yeah, but I actually do like that one. That's cute.
All right, well, I think that should be it. Assuming all goes well, the next one you guys should see will be Diarmuid and Fionn Macumail.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I haven't come up with an ending yet. I guess try harder. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.